Welcome to Life Mastery for Women. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I've been studying mind mastery and emotional management and energy work and its connection to spirituality for over 25 years. And in this podcast, I help guide you out of your daily struggles in life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Life is hard, but your daily growth doesn't have to be. Join me 3 times a week as I lead you inward on a healing, connecting, and creating journey. Let's go get that nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I'm finding you getting emotional. If you are not getting emotional, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I just give you one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. Now, don't we hear this all the time, women? You know what? Hey, you need to calm down. You need to get more in your mind and less in your body. You need to stop being so emotional so we can solve the problem. Yeah, we hear that a lot. And I have to say there's definitely a benefit, a high point, a blessing for women to have this innate ability to feel, to sense, to get a knowing through our body. To me, our bodies are our compass, and it directs us in ways that we can only partially fathom. It's just a tiny little fraction of an amount that we can understand, like where our path is. We don't use our bodies enough. Now, I'm going to try to go back to the beginning here because I tend to go from where I'm at and talk way up here. So I want to bring this back a little bit to the beginning. And I don't mean like the beginning of time. I just mean go into your body and use this is where we feel energy. Okay. And we have an array of emotions that we feel pretty much on a regular basis, unless you are one of those women that have like shut down all emotions, either because of trauma or because you work with a lot of men and you just kind of reflect how they respond and you shut your emotions down. But if you're like me and you're like a walking rainbow, and yes, that's pun intended, but I have this, I show like about 9 to 25 different emotions or different variations of emotions in a single day. I'm hard to handle. It takes a very special person to handle me, I'm telling you. And so for you, I keep wanting to go back and then I keep just speeding forward. So let me try to stay at the beginning to explain what I'm talking about, how we use our body as a compass. Now, the body is how we sense things. Not only is it how we go through the experience of experiencing the physical world through our senses, that's how the body receives outside information. If I get too hot to the fire, I know to back up. If I'm stepping on Legos or dog toys, I know that I have to yell at the dogs or the kids, right? But this is how we explore the world, is through our body. We also get the sensations from the inside. So our emotional state is felt on the inside of our bodies. Anger, joy, happiness, love, grief, loneliness, right? All of those are felt in our bodies. They also have a specific home in our body. So I'm not going to go into this in this one, but this will be a really good podcast episode when it does come around, is where we're sensing certain emotions and where they're housed. And if you are constantly experiencing a certain emotion for your life, like I'm just constantly angry, I'm constantly in grief or depressed or anxiety, it's housed in a certain place in the body. And as it's housed in a certain place in the body and you continue to feel that emotion, it will start to cause physical pain in your body. Shoulders, neck, back, stomach issues, knees, ankles, wrists, headaches, right? And we're not going to talk about it in this particular episode, but it's good to know that not only are we using our external body to feel things in our life and explore the world around us, but we are also exploring the internal world. And that's where I love to spend a lot of my time. In my coaching programs, when I'm talking with Amy about things, when I'm talking with Cameron about things, they're very, very different, right? Boys and men don't feel the same sensations that we do. They feel joy, they feel anger, sadness, and sex. That's pretty much it. I'm sure that there are some that are really tapped in and tuned into their bodies and they can sense the wider variety. But if you think of like when my grandma passed away, my brother was very angry. There were some tears, but he had to go through this whole array of anger. And that's why, because of the way men feel their emotions, those tougher emotions that we might say would be sadness or loneliness or guilt show up in men as anger. So we would explore it as sadness, and then we're crying, we're closed off, we're shutting down, and men are going through a higher variety or a higher energy vibration of anger, meaning it's just this like higher movement energy where we shut down and go inward. Typically, when we're feeling sadness, men feel anger. So their ability to sense those emotions are different. But now I want to talk about how we can start to tap into that space in this inner universe. This is an untapped, we spend so much of our time looking outward that we don't notice what's happening inside until sometimes it's not like it's too late, because it can always be reversed, but where now I have back pain. I have knee pain. I have constant headaches. I have, digestive issues. My shoulder is out of whack. It is because we are holding that emotion. Here's another one. Check this out. If you are a woman and you have some weight issues, where do you hold your weight? Where's your excess fat being held? It's in your belly. It's in your hips. It's in your butt. It's in your gut. It's in your boobs. Right? These are all, weight is a protection. Extra fat layers are a protection. We're like, well, no, Jen, it's because I eat cookies all the time, or because I drink beer all the time, or because I eat pizza every day. Yes, that's the external reason, because based on how we feel on the inside. So what do we call those foods? It's comfort food. Where do we need comfort? In those lower chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar, which is where? That's our butt, our gut, our bellies, our hips. Okay. And then it gets pushed up into our boobs, which is the feminine state of our bodies. Okay. That's where those of you that have been pregnant, and that's where you give life back to the babies, if you breastfeed. So this is all feminine energy. And this is where we're seeking that protection. When you have those crappy survival emotions, I always call them crappy because I want you to, it's like they don't feel good, do they? Which is what led me down this path and has opened the door to me to doing energy work, because those emotions are shitty and they feel terrible, which is where I'm going to get to as far as the compass goes. They feel terrible, but they feel terrible for a reason. And we use external things to try to satisfy that internal terrible emotion. I feel like crap, I'm going to go eat. I feel lonely, I'm going to go eat. I feel ungrounded, I'm going to eat something, right? I feel excited, I feel happy, I'm going to eat. So we're saving ourselves. And so fat gets put there in those places for protection. Okay? When we are in those survival emotions and we are in the external world, I can guarantee you that your body is not going to change. Whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, or you're putting on excess weight. It's just not going to. That's not how it works. Internal world, the internal universe, the gaps in your thought, the gaps in your emotions. That's where the magic is. And everyone's like, are you kidding? I have to meditate? And I go, only if you want to have a successful life. Only if you want to feel better. Only if you want a better relationship. Only if you want better health. Only if you want more money. Only if you want a better job. Only if you want your kids to behave. They're not going to behave, but you're just going to not be triggered by it. Only if you want anything. Do you want a better life? Do you want to go from a 1 to a 10? Do you want to move out from where you're at because you're in a shitty household or in a crappy relationship and you want to freaking move out and you just can't? You can't get there? Every day meditate. Every single day go inward. Every day uncover the path, the deeper meaning of you. Every single day. Starting now for the rest of your life. And I guarantee you, a year from now, you won't even recognize you. Your health will be there. Your money will be there. You'll have the best job. You'll have the best relationships. You'll feel amazing. Stuff's going to happen in your life. You're not getting rid of problems. Meditation doesn't magically get rid of problems, but it gets rid of the triggers. Now you're not triggered. Now, instead of you going from a 1 to a 10 every day, and this 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10, like a freaking roller coaster ride in our emotions, instead of doing that, you're now a 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 10, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 10, right? And you get to enjoy more of life, and you stop getting so deep and sucked into those survival emotions. Okay. Going into, I want to kind of break this apart a little bit because I want you to fully grasp what I'm telling you. The internal space. Now, you might go inward. And I have some beginners in my group coaching where they go inward and they're like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I can feel my stomach rumble. I'm like, good, go with that. I can feel the headache when I have it. Good, go with that. When there's an internal sensation in the body, whatever pain you're feeling, go in and explore it. That's a great place to start because the sensation is showing itself to you. When your body feels amazing, and nothing hurts. Now, if you're under 50, that could be the case. And your body feels amazing. Sometimes when you go inward, you're like, oh, Jen, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't feel anything. I don't sense anything. There's nothing in there. For one, that's not true. But you go inward when there is a sensation because it's helping you to practice using your mind to explore the depths of your energy. Okay? Don't let these words confuse you. Your energy are the sensations of your body, but because everything is energy, your emotions are energy. It's energy in motion. That's why we can feel it. It's this movement of energy. It's like you look at still water in the pot on the stove and it doesn't feel anything. You turn the heat up and now the molecules start moving. You can sense that there would be a feeling, a sensation there. Does that make sense? So when there's boiling water, the molecules are moving. Now that's a physical substance, but take that and pretend that's energy. So when I'm angry or I'm really like a high vibrational state or a high energy state, high vibrational state are the good feeling states. And a high energy state is like anger. It's got a lot of movement. I want to flip tables and throw things, where depression is sludge. It's heavy, it's black, it's dark, it's low, right? There's a difference in the movement. So in anger and happiness, they're both these expansive energies that make you want to get up and move, either get up and punch somebody or get up and dance, right? So when you're in either a high vibration or high energy state, you can feel the sensation in your body. If you were to all of a sudden turn off your ears and close your eyes and go inward, you'd be like, yeah, I can feel it. It's tingling or it's squirmy, like butterflies in your stomach, or you're really nervous about something and you feel like, I feel like I'm going to barf, right? And you feel gross inside, right? That's energy. Nothing else is going on in there. It's just energy. So if there's a sensation in your body, you have a headache, something hurts, maybe you do feel a little bit nervous. Maybe you do feel really happy, or maybe there's pain in your left ankle. Take your time. Take the time right then to practice. Go into that pain. And that's when I say that, that's what I mean is take your awareness, your thinking, your thoughts, and go into that pain and sense it from the inside. Now, there's a way to sense it from the outside, right? When we bash our elbow, what's the first thing we do? Our other hand goes right to our elbow. We get hit in the head with a soccer ball. What do? Our hands go to our face or our head, right? I'm asking you to do it. We already know how to do that. I always say, here, take this thing, feel it. You put it in your hand, right? Smell this, you smell it. Look at this, here. Hear what this sounds like, right? But I'm asking you now to broaden your awareness on the inside. So you can start with something when it's an uncomfortable sensation. What that's going to do is help you to shift your awareness. And the best part is if you have 2 pain points, my left ankle and my right shoulder hurt. Okay, so get into that quiet place, bring your awareness to your right ankle. And then, or was it left ankle? I forget what ankle it was. Bring your awareness to your ankle and feel how it feels on the inside. See if you can sense or see a color, a size, any kind of movement. What about the weight or the texture? Okay. Do the same thing for your shoulder. What you're doing is you're teaching your mind to pay attention to what it is you want to do. Remember, your mind is like a flashlight in a dark room. I want to look over there. Great. You point the flashlight over there. Okay. I want to look over there, and you point the flashlight over here. On that side of the room, the flashlight's pointing towards anger. On this side of the room, the flashlight is pointing towards happiness. Okay. So this side is pointing to your ankle. Over there, it's pointing to your shoulder. So just using your mind to direct your attention. There's different parts of your being that make up your whole being, and sometimes we get them confused about what's what and what's not. When we start to separate them and we start to understand them as having individual roles in our lives, that's like having access to the whole car, not just the steering wheel. I can shift gears. I can adjust the radio and the temperature in the car. I can roll the window down or throw back the sunroof, right? You have access to all of the parts. And when we understand that the body has a role and a part, your mind has a role and a part, and then there's the you. There's the spiritual version of you that decides what to look at and what to point at and what to focus on. Ever had a really big problem in your life where you're like, oh my God, I just can't stop talking about this thing? Like you hear some news or something and you just can't stop talking about it. Or something is uncomfortable. Like me, something's uncomfortable in my body. I can't stop talking about it. If I'm hungry, if I'm cold, if something hurts, I'm like, it just keeps coming out of my mouth. Well, what I'm trying to do is release that energy. But again, that's a different podcast. But anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm the person, the spirit part of you is the person holding the flashlight. You're directing where the flashlight goes. You are directing where your attention goes. Do I want to look over there? Do I want to look over there? Okay. That's the you. The you part is the you holding the flashlight. Your mind is the flashlight. But sometimes we let our mind just do whatever it freaking wants. We just let it go and point at whatever it wants. And we look over there and all of a sudden now we're like, oh, we're looking at anger. Okay, so I need to get angry. And then the room is the body. Okay. Hopefully this is not confusing you. I love to use analogies. Hopefully my analogy is not confusing. That was literally on the fly. That is not in a script. Matter of fact, I don't have a script. But that is literally on the fly. So hopefully that gives you kind of a visual to understand the pieces to the whole. When you start to understand through this work, through this podcast, through any work that you ever do with me from now or in the future, you will start to understand these different parts and how each of these parts play at a pivotal role in your body, in your life, not in your body, in your life. We don't want to give sole control to the flashlight, that it just points at any willy-nilly thing that it wants to. You're scrolling through Facebook, somewhere behind Facebook, it's saying, this is what I want you to point at. Whoever has the most money or whoever has the most time to sit in front of the computer. I want you to look at my puppy. I want you to look at this ad. I want you to look at these tennis shoes. I want you to look at this really dumb dancer. I want you to look at this drunk guy at the bar. I want you to watch this video on this comedian. That's giving the flashlight the control. When the flashlight has the control, which is your mind, when your flashlight has the control, you just react to the world around you. You just react to your kids. You react to your dogs. You react to your partner. You react to traffic. You react to sales at the grocery store, the price of eggs, the snow that's coming down, the rain that's coming down, the shootout that happened down the street. You just react to things. I'm not saying that those things are not important, but how you react to them is what we're going to start gaining control of by this type of work. Because then if I'm pointing the flashlight toward this corner that says I should act angry, and now the room starts to act angry, that's your body. Because your mind and this focal point, this person of you, this spiritual you is inside, it's housed inside the body. Okay? So if I'm the me and I'm pointing the flashlight, I want to direct. I want to drive, right? I want to direct where this flashlight goes and how long it stays there. Because don't I ultimately want to be happy? So shouldn't I point the flashlight on that side of the room where happiness is? Because I'm going to point it over there where happiness is, and then all of a sudden the flashlight goes, oh, nope, we're going to look over here and look at something stupid on Facebook. Or we're going to pay attention to something someone did, and I'm going to get mad about it because I'm going to point over here to the reaction, which is going to be anger. So hopefully that didn't confuse you, and hopefully that didn't melt your brain. This has been, 25 years of reading about a lot of different parts and pieces of our thinking, because I want to be the person who starts out at this way in life and turns out to be this amazing thing on the other side. I had to overcome a lot of things to get to this success. I want to be my own success story. And I want the same thing for you. So hopefully that doesn't melt your brain too much. And of course, stop and listen to this again and try to understand, the different parts. The part of you, which meditation is what it emphasizes, is the part of you that's holding the flashlight. So what happens is the flashlight goes, hey, I want you to look at this. And then you go, oh, you know what? That doesn't make me feel very good. So I'm not going to look over there. I'm going to look over here instead. Because ultimately, meditation doesn't get rid of problems, but it allows us to change how we solve the problems or how we look at the problems. But it doesn't upset us so much. So this really is for those of you that do get upset easily or spend a lot of time being reactive to things, which I will say part of that, I do that a ton. Where I should say I should, but as I've been meditating, I'm hitting, 3 times a day still. Like I want to just fast forward. I don't want to do it 1 time a day, 10 minutes, 3 times a week. It's going to take me forever to have that self-growth and that success point that I want. So I'm like speeding through this. I'm like, well, crap, I'm just going to do 3 a day, right? And I feel amazing. Do I have downtimes? Yes, of course I do. Am I a little overwhelmed with creating my program right now? Yes, I am. And I'm working through that through meditation. I'm coming up with new ideas and tapping into intuition, which was the last podcast I just did is tapping into the bigger version of me to get a higher perspective so I can continue to climb the ladder of success. And that's my own ladder, my own definition. So, okay. So now let's get to kind of the meat and the potatoes of what I wanted to create here for you is using your body as a compass. So first of all, you have to have that introspection, which is looking inward and starting to assess your emotional body, which is the feelings and the sensations. Okay. That's what we call it. So it's an emotional body. And starting to go inward, looking at the pain, if there's pain, which just gives you a good way to start looking inward and paying attention and focusing on it. We are a distracted society. We used to have like a 30 second, I think it was longer than that. It was like 3 minutes of an attention span. You guys, it's now like 3 seconds. When I started this journey, back in 2010, it's kind of my fitness journey. So maybe like 2012, my personal development journey started in December. But as far as my business goes and thinking about marketing and, they're like, Jen, you have like 22 seconds to get people's attention. And I'm like, okay, I can do it. My marketers now in my business courses are telling me I have 3 seconds to get your attention. 3 seconds. Well, I better sing and dance or put on sunglasses or learn the moonwalk or something, though I do know the moonwalk, but I better start figuring that out if I'm going to try to get someone's attention. Look at the stuff that we scroll on social media, Instagram, Reels, Stories, Facebook, and we're like, boom, 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 right? We just keep going through. I'm going to watch this video it's a 6-second video. I don't have that kind of time. Boom, just move on to the next one. Watch these puppies, watch these kittens, watch this guy dance, watch this comedian. It's a very fast society. And I tell you, anxiety is going to go through the roof because that is scattered energy. I'm getting interrupted. I'm over here. I'm distracted. I'm over here on this thing. And it's like we are teaching our bodies and our minds to be distracted. So when we want to focus, it's like everything in us to distract ourselves. Like, how do I even pay attention enough to do a 20-minute podcast? Like, you guys, I am distracted, right? This is the art of distraction. Well, now I want to teach focus because there's a blessing in there. And it's this focal ability that now I can start to feel an emotion for longer because when my energy is spread across, 63 tabs open on my computer, I am highly overwhelmed. And overwhelm doesn't feel good. And overwhelm is a form of chaos and anxiety. Well, no kidding that people are suffering from anxiety nowadays. Learn to focus, learn to concentrate, bring your awareness in, bring your energy back, close the tabs, bring the energy back, and start to shine your own flashlight, okay? So when we talk about the compass, first, as we start to focus on that pain point, That's bringing your awareness inward just to start exploring how you move around through your awareness. Then what I want you to do is I want you to figure out a way. This will be an individual thing. Is I want you to focus on things using your imagination, using your mind's eye and your visualization skills, is creating different scenes that elicit different emotions. And the goal would be like 10. Try to do 10 different emotions. Go for loneliness. Create a scene in your mind that elicits loneliness, that elicits joy. And you know it's joy, not a version of happiness, but that would be the emotion that you would say out loud when someone said, how are you feeling right now? You'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling happiness. I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling sadness. I'm feeling grief. I'm feeling depression. Okay. Now, why in the hell would I have you do this? Because this type of work is for like the advanced person. This work that I'm giving you right now, for one, is not for the faint of heart. And it is not for the person who's just dabbling in energy work. Because the way that this is going to help you are two ways. One, when you are feeling one of those lower vibrational frequencies, any of those negative emotions, you are going to say, okay, stop for a minute. I'm feeling a negative emotion. And over here, you're going to go, I'm going to switch. And I'm going to shine the flashlight someplace else for a better feeling thought. I want to feel something better, because if I keep pointing over here, I feel negative, I feel terrible, I feel awful, I hate my life, and I hate everyone in it. I want to feel something different. Okay? So the first thing, it's going to allow you to start focusing in a different direction. The next thing, and this is where life gets fun. This is where you start to elevate. And again, this is only for the advanced person. So if you're still listening to this, I'm going to say that I am considering you a person who is advanced and you are ready for your life to start taking off. Because here's the next part. How this helps you is you go, what is it that I want? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Who do I want to be with? What kind of life do I want? What kind of money? What kind of business? What kind of relationship? What kind of career? What kind of mom do I want to be? What kind of wife do I want to be? What kind of mother? I already said mother, but right? Now you get to go all the way to the bottom of that and go, I want to be, we'll do two different things. I want to be a mom who feels like this, who feels confident. Okay. Now, you know, because you've done the work, you did part one, you did the work where you can create a scene that elicits the emotion of confidence. Oh, okay. Because you can do that in your mind. You have total control, unless you give the control to the flashlight. Okay? It seems ridiculous. And isn't there a cartoon that's the flashlight? He's like he's Lighthead or something like that. I should look that up. I think Cameron had a game or something that was like, I think he was a flashlight. Anyway, kind of reminds me of that light when you watch a Pixar movie and he hops across the words Pixar and then he jumps into the letter I. That's kind of what it reminds me of. You don't want him to have control of your life, folks. You don't want him to have control of your life. You don't. But for most of us, that's who's in control, is that dazzling light who hops around the Pixar logo. And I don't know about you. I don't want him controlling my life, but I will tell you, he's had the majority of control of my life for a very long time. And all it does is make me reactive. It's like my mind is on ADHD and just, whoo, over there, anger, ooh, over there, overwhelm, ooh, over there, calm, ooh, over there, hunger, boom. And it just goes all day long. Well, no kidding that so many people are dealing with anxiety and overwhelm. It's just, I get it. And I'm trying to help you right now. So the other part is, so I just want to feel better, right? I want to be a better mom. It's something that has to do with an emotion. Okay. I want to be a better wife. Now, what does that mean? What's the emotion you want to feel? Like if you're dealing with depression, if you weren't depressed, what would you be feeling? Oh, well, God, peace. Great. Now create a scene where you feel peace. Peace. Right. Okay. Now, the other part of this is creating what you want. The creation through the body is the key to creating the life you want. It's to manifesting, to the law of attraction. Your mind, the flashlight, cannot shine the light big enough for the universe to see. It can't. It doesn't have the capacity. They're not on the same frequency. The universe goes, I don't know, I can't see you. I can't hear you. What do you want? But now the body, that big giant room that the you is housed in, that big giant dark room, that's your body. That is what you need to get to start emanating. That is what you need to get turned on to what it is that you want. So for example, if I'm standing here and I'm like, okay, I want to have an amazing business that makes me feel empowered, and it makes me feel, I'm just going to go with happy. It's just going to make me feel happy. Okay. So I'm going to take my mind to create the spiritual part of me that says, I'm ready for expansion. I want my business to be amazing. And I'm going to take the flashlight and I'm going to point it over here, create the scene in my mind about having a successful business where the Jen version of me in the future is happy. Now, if you can picture the mass amount of how big this body is that you're standing inside, that is sending out this amazing frequency to the universe. Boom, boom. This is Jen. She wants to feel happy. And that frequency is going out. The longer I can stand here in my spiritual being and hold that flashlight, pointing it in that direction, the more the universe is getting, oh yeah, okay, I see she wants that. Take a kid to the grocery store and go in the candy aisle. You will see what they want. Mom, I really want this, whatever. Mom, no, you don't need that. You just had candy in the car. Mom, right? That's what you want to do to the universe, because eventually you wear them down and the universe goes, fine, my God, here. That's what you want. Now, of course, you don't want to be a spoiled little brat about it, but you know what? I will be a spoiled brat if it gets me the house I want, right? So, but that's what we're doing. So you're the spiritual version of you that is holding the flashlight, which is your mind, that can focus on something for longer periods of time. You are sending it in that direction. You're pointing it over there at a visualization. It's me on the beach with my girl, and kids or no kids or whatever. But my business is running and it's amazing. And we have all these wonderful, amazing, beautiful women that we're working with, or we're at a women's retreat. And I'm just so beside myself with happiness. I'm creating that visual. And now what I'm doing in my work, I call the workshop, is I am creating that visual. I am pointing the flashlight at it and I'm like, go, go, go. This is what I want. And what's happening is the body, this room that I'm in, is just turning this beautiful green. It's just sparkling green, which to me is the color of happiness, at least in this moment of this podcast. That's the sparkling green all over, which sending out that frequency to the universe. Oh, I see you now. Oh, you want happiness? Oh, and you want it through your business? Done. I'm going to start working it out for you. It's magic. It happens all the time. It starts showing up as synchronicities and possibilities. And it starts just becoming opportunities in your life where then someone comes around. They're like, I do this 5-day event and 20 people come into my coaching program. I'm like, holy crap, you guys. Right? And it happens quickly. You go from here to here in a day. The next day, they call you and say, I want to hire you for this job because the girl that we were going to hire moved to Alaska. And you're like, oh my God. It's happening right now. Pack your bags. You're moving right now. Right? So start practicing. If you have pain in the body, it's okay. I know pain sucks. I get it. I'm 1,000% on board with you. Go in there and start playing around with your awareness. Spend some time doing this. This is A-game stuff right here, you guys. This is A-game stuff. This is for the advanced person only. This is level 202, right? The prerequisites were the other 329 episodes. We are ready to rock and roll. You have listened to those. You're ready to go. It is time to get in the driver's seat of your life. I have a group coaching program coming up, and it is going to be a hell of a program. Why? Because this is the stuff I'm going to be teaching, but you're not going to do it alone. You're going to link arms with me and we are going to run through this program. Not run, but we're going to forge ahead while I hold you in this space of success. And what I used to tell my boot campers, and I'm telling you this right now, I will believe in you until you believe in you. I hope you take these simple yet powerful techniques and really start working it. You're like, really, Jen? I'm just going to look at my ankle pain? I'm like, yes, because it's just practice. You're just going to practice. I hope you do it. I hope you can come to my 5-day event, which is February 27th. It's a chakra healing event, but we're going to start talking about energy work and our awareness and going inward. And even though we're going to start talking about chakras, we're talking about energy, which is where my passion is. And we use the chakras as a tool to getting in there and working with energy. So if you need that information, come to our Chakras for Beginners group, send a post, send a message. We have a chat. You can friend me on Facebook, JenMac, JenMac. Send me a message that says, hey, what the heck are you talking about? Or if this is in the future, when are you doing the next event? So just reach out. I got you. And I will say it one more time as I wrap this up. I will believe in you until you do. If you enjoyed this show, please consider making a small donation. This helps me to continue creating powerful episodes for you each week, but also you become a bigger part of changing the world by changing yourself one episode at a time. By investing in my show, you are investing in yourself, your life, and your planet. And by elevating yourself, you are elevating others around you. And I thank you.